Stretch out the dreams from my mind. Granny's got the scoop, let's unwind. Birds are chirping, singing their tune. Mystery of the day coming soon. Cup of tea and a buttered scone. Start the day, we're never alone. Good morning, rise and shine. Granny's here with stories so fine. Good morning, off we go. To greet the world with a happy glow.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful morning. Grab your coffee, your tea, your espresso, your cappuccino, your juice, whatever it is that you drink in the morning. We're going to get started. As always, we do start out with Spotlight on the Missing with Granny. Our first young man is Caden. I don't know if it's Caden Dies, Caden Dees. I don't know how that's pronounced. Caden has been missing since April 22nd, 2025. He was last seen in Nashville, Tennessee. 17 years old. He's 6 feet, 139 pounds, brown hair, and brown eyes. If anyone knows anything about his whereabouts or his disappearance, please call the Nashville Police Department, 911, or 1-800-TBI-FIND. Our next one is Elijah Malone. Elijah has been missing from Jackson, Tennessee since January 1st, 2025. He's 17 years old, 5 feet 5 inches tall, 204 pounds, brown hair, and brown eyes. If anyone knows anything about the disappearance or the whereabouts of Elijah Malone, please call the Jackson Police Department, 911, or 1-800-TBI-FIND. If any of you know anything about me, I have a heart toward the missing children. It's up to us to bring kids home. It really is. All right, so today we are going to talk about the resentencing of the Menendez brothers. Let's see here. This is them more recently in jail, their mugshots, okay? Lyle and Eric. Eric is on the left, Lyle is on the right. They have been resentenced to 50 years to life in prison, opening them up for the possibility of parole after spending more than 3 decades behind bars for red rumming their parents decades ago. Guys, I want you to hear exactly what happened in their bid to get resentenced, okay? They filed appeal upon appeal. Remember that they walked in with rifles and shot their parents, okay? In cold blood, guys. Parents were sitting, eating ice cream in front of the TV. And they went in and they took their lives with shotguns. Not only that, but they went back and reloaded and came back because they knew mom was still alive. So I want to share a video with you because I think it explains a little better what led up to this resentencing. The Los Angeles County DA made a statement, and I want you guys to hear what he said. Okay? Make sure you can see it good. All right, let's get started.
Nice. Today is the beginning of a 2-day resentencing hearing for the Menendez brothers. And just before they began today, Nathan Hochman, the district attorney of Los Angeles County, he's been pretty outspoken about his belief that the Menendez brothers need to sit exactly where they are in prison. He had a news conference, a portion of it, before they began today's hearing.
The idea is that
So before he gets started, I do just want to say these young men went through a trial, okay? A jury of their peers convicted them and the judge sentenced them to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Okay? Guys, I know the talk. They're trying to say that their parents essayed them. I don't know if that's true, if it's not true. If it is true, yes, that's horrific. That's horrific. It is. But it doesn't give them a license to red rum their parents. I know that there are people who, and every time I talk about the Menendez brothers, I get dislikes. I get it. You know, if you're not happy with my take on this, just move along. We don't do hate here. But I am a firm believer that when justice is, given and the jury has spoken and there's no doubt that they committed the crime, then that is what should happen. Okay? But I want you to hear what the DA has to say.
if you're going to challenge your conviction and your sentence, there are plenty of different types of appeals that are available to the typical defendant to do that challenge. A defendant can appeal their sentence directly, as was done in this case. The Menendez brothers took their sentence and their conviction to the California Court of Appeals, and it denied that appeal. They then took it to the California Supreme Court, and it denied that appeal. Then you can go a second route, and you can do a habeas petition. The Menendez brothers availed themselves of that opportunity, and the California Supreme Court again denied their habeas petition. Then they went the federal court route, and they filed a habeas petition with the U.S. District Court, which denied their habeas petition on the federal grounds, and they took that up to the appellate court, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and it too denied their Court of Appeals petition. So 5 different courts evaluating the Menendez conviction and evaluating the Menendez sentence have turned those appeals down. But California has this additional statute called resentencing. And the idea was that resentencing was not designed to let every murderer who's had their convictions affirmed by 5 different courts of appeals to let them out. And the resentencing statute said that in those unusual cases where a defendant has met the criteria for resentencing, including accepting full responsibility for the range of their criminal conduct, including demonstrating rehabilitation within the prison system in which they exist, assuming that also that when they've been in prison, that they didn't commit certain violations showing that they were not ready to be released, that in those fairly rare situations that a court now has the power to actually do something that hasn't been done in this case for over 30 years, which is overturn effectively the jury's conviction and sentence that was for a first-degree murder conviction of Jose Menendez with special circumstances, a first-degree murder conviction of Kitty Menendez with special circumstances, a sentence that then was life without the possibility of parole, which has been the sentence for over 30 years. So now in this resentencing procedure, they are asking the court to go ahead and effectively overturn that sentence and turn a life without the possibility of parole sentence into a life with the possibility of parole. We have said with respect to resentencing that our position is not no, or it's not never, it's not yet. And the reason we said that is that the Menendez brothers have failed to come clean with the full extent of their criminal conduct, their cover-up, their lies, and their deceit over the past 30 years. As we've explained, The Menendez brothers persist for 30 years, as recently as 2024, in insisting that the reason that they killed their parents, and when I say their parents, I mean their mother and their father, is not because of the sexual abuse. When they testified at trial, they were asked that question specifically. Was sexual abuse the reason that you killed your mother and their father? The answer was no. They said the reason they killed their mother and their father was that they believed on the night of August 20th, 1989, their mother and their father were going to kill them, so they had to kill their mother and their father first. That has always been their defense, the self-defense defense.
All right, we have to step aside. We'll get you more.
Okay. So obviously, guys, this was before the judge, did change their sentence. But he brought up some good points. He brought up the fact that they went the whole route of the appeals. Every one of them was denied. Okay. So then they bring up this resentencing. But the DA is right. They have never owned up to what they did as far as the lies, the cover up, the fact that they said no, that they were not essayed in court. And now they're claiming they were. They said that, so here's my thought. So they realized that, that got us life without the possibility of parole by saying that we thought they were going to red rum us first. Okay, that didn't work. So let's do this. That's my thinking. Let's go this route because everybody feels bad about SA, right? Which we do, right? We do. There's no doubt about that. And if those boys went through that, shame on the parents. Shame on the parents. But then they were adults. They could have gone to law enforcement and asked law enforcement to do something about this abuse. Right? They decided not to do that. They decided to take matters into their own hands, went and bought and planned it. Bought the rifles to take the lives of their parents. Guys, I'm sorry. That's wrong. That's premeditation. And after that, their actions after they did that were suspect as well. Because they went on shopping sprees. They hired, personal tennis trainer for Eric. They were spending all kinds of money, guys. Their parents' money. They were just going wild with it. It's well-known fact. I encourage you, go Google it because it's true. Why am I speaking strongly on this case? I'm speaking strongly on this case because I don't think there should ever be a loophole where people who have committed red rum should be allowed to get out of jail. Yes, they've served 35 years. I get that. I get that. I understand that. And I understand I do not blame their family for being behind them. It's tough, right? I can't even imagine being a family member, how tough that it would be. So, I do not blame their family for standing behind these boys. Not at all. But I do question the fact that they would go this far and use, guys, I look at it like a loophole. Because they have not. And you heard the DA say, we've not said no, we've not said never, we've said not yet. Because they haven't, said, they haven't come forward with the entire truth, right? If the truth is that they were essayed, I'm sorry about that. It's awful. No child, no youngster, no young adult should ever have to go through that. Never, ever. But you don't take matters into your own hands and then lie about what happened, because they lied on the stand and said they weren't. Sexual abuse was not why they took the lives of their parents. Guys, there comes a time when reality must be faced, and it's time for the Menendez brothers to be honest. But you know what? I can guarantee you they're not going to be, because they want out. So what happens now? Well, the Parole Board has to review whether they should get out or not, right? You know how parole boards work. So there you have it. The Parole Board has to decide whether each one should be released. I haven't done any digging to find out if in jail they have been behaving themselves. I don't know at this point. I haven't dug deep enough for that. But tell me what you think. I really want to know. Please do not be hateful. We can agree to disagree, right? We always can. This is an adult conversation we can have in the comments below. I want to know what you think. Do you think after 35 years they should be free? Do you think they've served long enough time for taking the lives of their parents? Do you think that that's okay? Because I'm going on the record saying I don't think that's okay. But if you think that's okay, we can agree to disagree. But tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Please hit the like button on your way out. Hit subscribe and the notification bell, change it to all so that you are notified when we do go live, which is most nights at 5 p.m. Central. And we talk about more missing children. So thank you guys for being here today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at grannyscrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.